Welcome to Same Cast Different Day podcast. I'm Marta Rowland, and we have Crystal B here with us. She finally joined us after 18 episodes that she was missing off of.
Oh boy.
Don't
Oh
just
boy.
sit there and try to look all innocent. So, to kick things off, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name right, but there's a WNBA player named Brittany Griner or Garner. I'm not sure how you pronounce the last
Like
name.
Garner, maybe? Really?
Um, But for those of you who don't know, she still is detained in Russia right now, and I'm kind of wondering if Russia is kind of using this whole thing as, hey, we have one of your people, so if you want one of your people to leave our country alive, uh, stop helping Ukraine, type of situation is what I wonder. But so according to a American expert on Russia law, says the WNBA star could be sent to a labor camp if she's convicted of drug smuggling charges after she was detained at Moscow, Russia's airport after oil was allegedly found in her luggage from like cannabis oil, sorry, was allegedly found in her luggage. I don't know what a labor camp is there.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, if you do X, I mean, I've done some, watched some documentaries on, like, labor camps in North Korea. If it's anything like that,
That was
ooh,
that bad.
ooh.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know it was that bad.
the prison system in America, okay, is pretty, comfortable, really, unless you really have done some majorly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But a labor camp in some our country,
And what whole thing, another thing I'm trying to figure, why aren't they releasing her? Why isn't, I feel like some of our elected officials are doing anything about trying to get her back home? And it felt like they talked when the news story broke, like, oh, she was being detained in Russia, and then that was it. Like, no news outlets, you don't really hear about it on the news really about her being over there. So, like, it's like she's almost forgotten that she's still detained in Russia. It's one of the main reasons why I had wanted to bring it up on this episode of the podcast because I'm like, why you not really hearing too much about this story? And the last update that we got was today, where I just talked about 4 hours ago. It was sent out 5 hours ago about her possibly being sent to a labor camp. Other than the news story that we got today, there's been nothing, no chatter, no nothing, and it makes me wonder if this is a racial thing or it's just that I don't get why isn't it talked about? But they
so
feel like it's the reason to talk about Amanda Bynes' conservatorship ending.
So I wonder if I don't know what is legal or illegal in Russia. If maybe CBD or any of that stuff is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea when it
Again,
comes to that kind of
that's a
stuff.
country that we normally don't much talk about at all, really ever. So
Right.
um, to be honest, yeah, I know it's probably just bad reporting on the podcast, but the truth is the truth. We always talk about America and Europe, Australia, Japan, stuff like that. We talk about our a lot of our allies. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't see us as.
I just don't get why I feel like they're just letting her sit over there and rot at this
And I
point.
and I think a lot of people in DC need to start thinking about this. Like, what happens if that was your kid, your cousin, and then right now that is someone's relative.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone's child. That's someone's mother. I mean, parent. Really. I mean, sit.
Does she have kids? I don't know.
Oh, I'm just taking an
Oh,
example. I'm just saying I don't think she does. But I mean that's the things to look at. These are things like solid, things to look at, and that's kind of sad to see someone, and depending on what the labor camp is involved, I don't know.
yeah. It's just I feel like this whole thing with her is just a political stunt, and we're gonna keep talking about this until Brittany is finally back home here in the U.S. happy as she can be.
Yeah, I don't know if that would mean that they have to do some bargaining chip between Vladimir Putin. That's probably what will have to happen.
That's what I'm thinking. It's probably gonna have to happen.
I mean, I was reading a news article that one of supermodels was talking bad about Putin, and now she's gone.
Yeah, I heard that he had somebody was talking about him and he had him killed. Yeah, I did hear
Yeah,
about that.
I was reading. I think it was maybe one of the news outlets.
Hmm.
I don't believe it was an American news outlet. This was probably a foreign news outlet. So
Okay.
I don't. Yeah,
Wow. So speaking of news outlets, and when I first saw this story online, I said, "No, this can't be real." And it turns out it was real. So an editor called a reporter to cover a Virginia shooting before realizing she had been killed. And this was reported by CBS. It says when a shooting took place, what should I say, when the breaking news broke of the shooting, the editor called, I want to say Sierra or Sierra, okay, I think it's Sierra Jenkins. She was 25 years old. So her editor was calling her to call her multiple times
mm-hmm.
to have her get to the scene and report on the shooting. And it turns out that the person that the editor was calling was one of the people who were shot and who later died in the hospital.
Jeez,
And I'm just like,
25.
right. I'm sitting here thinking like someone before when I first heard about the story, I'm thinking like this is what like the person was shot and they survived, and the editor asked them to cover their own story of them getting shooting to go in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I didn't know the whole background of the woman being shot and killed, and the editor was calling trying to get the person to get her to go to the scene to report on the story.
Mm.
And
So
like
it was like was it ricochet or what like what?
I think she was out having lunch somewhere, and somebody else started shooting, and she might have just got hit in the crossfire.
Ugh, ugh. Mm.
So yeah, another innocent life gone. It's like I believe in what was it Pennsylvania where it was two I think it was two state troopers. They were state troopers. They was responding to a call on the highway. I guess it was a man walking down the highway or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they got in contact with the man and started walking the man back to the car. Drunk driver was allegedly a drunk driver came and hit the three of them, and the state troopers died. So
Man,
it's been a lot of wackiness going on in this world, and it's like, what can we do? What can we do to stop the wackiness right now?
I,
And it's,
you know what I guess this is what I was always told is
yeah, like even
when your
in
time
go ahead.
time's up because your time's up, I guess. But
Yeah, like even like in Racine, they were talking about. I believe yesterday they was talking about they are seeing an uptick in crimes where teenagers are now getting hold of guns and out here committing murders on other teenagers.
mm,
And they're seeing a
that's
spike
sad.
of that in Racine. Is either Racine or Kenosha. They're seeing a spike in that now. So it's like crime is starting to happen with people younger and younger now. Although crime has always been going on with younger people, but now it's just like it's on the rise for some reason at this moment. And it's a lot of underage killings going on where it's, teen on teen murder. I don't know no other way to put it. Like, I don't know if that's even sound right. Like teen on teen murder, that sounds stupid.
You know
Uh,
what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, I don't know if you know. To me, you always wonder is it one way because of not trying point fingers at politics, but is it like more like okay, is it the Democrats just letting these people get away with everything, or the Republicans are not? What's again I'm not trying to make it political, but what's the logistics of it? What's the facts? I mean, is it just because I mean, I was watching. Now again, we have in Wisconsin we have Spectrum News One. That's so Spectrum's one of our ISP providers.
mhm.
And so I was watching the news a little bit this morning when I was work with one of my teammates, and it's interesting how they said the crime rate has went up. They said in Milwaukee, Madison, Eau Claire, like they've actually named off all the big cities, and it was amazing how much the percentage went up from 2019 till today, till 2022. And the top two were literally Racine, Kenosha, and Milwaukee. Those were the top two, and they didn't jump like just a few percent. I mean, they went from maybe 15 to like 35, 38%. I mean, that's crazy. Like,
Uh,
what's going on?
that is expected for heavy populated cities, for that to happen. Um, one of the reasons why crime is probably up is just the simple fact of, like I said, the pandemic. People lost their jobs. People went crazy. Some people just went crazy sitting at home. And when you got a lot of nothing going on, it caused a lot of crime to spike. To me, is what it seems like.
I
And
understand.
it's like people have so much bottled up frustration and energy and don't know how to release it. They go out in public and boom, somebody say the wrong thing and it triggers them, and now they just shooting and killing somebody. Or it could be like a lot of the deaths could be related to the Kias. It could be all the Kias being stolen out here, and them crashing them cars and killing people. It's a lot that contributed to this. I don't think we can say it's more of a government thing. It's just more of a I guess the people, like like Rose, aka Georgia, aka Rose, and y'all mostly know as Rose from Rose check-ins. Um, what she had say, it was just on the tip of my tongue, and I don't forgot that fast. Um, no, but oh yeah, that's what she was saying that a lot of black people are saying Black Lives Matter and all that kind of stuff, and she was like, well, how do you expect for other people to want to think or want other people to be like, hey, Black Lives Matter, but at the same time you killing your brothers and your own sisters.
So it's not really like, I mean, it's like it's not, you're not getting the full picture. They're just like, you know what, I don't care about it, or I care about it. It's either one, it's either one or other.
And some people just have mental health issues and be like, hey, I'm just gonna go kill somebody today.
I mean, some people just want to do that. They don't really. I mean, that's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, Old Man Theater finally decided to make an appearance. Old Man Theater, they can't even see you waving.
Yeah, we could see. He's eating Chinese food or whatever he's doing down there. I don't know what he's
Oh
eating.
Lord have mercy,
Make
Old
sure you
Man
got
Theater.
chopsticks, please. Make sure you got chopsticks.
I'm sorry for my tardiness. Have other stuff going on. I'm hearing y'all about this Black Lives Matter and the Kia boys and all this other stuff. I think Black Lives Matter is just a saying that they use to put out here, like they really care.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if they was trying to make change for anything, they got all these what they call them uh activists out here, black activists out here claiming to be for each other or for Black lives, but they're fighting against one another for who's the better activist and who's this and who's that, instead of really fighting for what's out here.
Mm-hmm.
And if they was to come together and stop being idiots, um, maybe they can make some difference out here. I don't believe it. None of them is really out here to make no difference. They just out here to make a name for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You
That,
know,
that is
just
true.
take us back to the olden days where we used to get our ass whooped at home and get disciplined. They took that out of home, so I can't say that totally made a difference, but it made some difference in kids to where, therefore, it's like us being parents can go to them and say, well, you need to do this. Oh, no, fuck you. I don't have to do nothing because if you put your hands on me, you're going to jail. All I got to do is yell out, you hit me, you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Some
So,
of this is because some of that can be from not being able to discipline kids. I think a lot of it comes from not disciplining your kids. Now you can have say like there's 5 kids, you can discipline them all the exact same way. There's
Yep.
always going to be that one kid who's going to be basically the fuck up out the kids. You're going to have that one fuck up regardless of
Yep.
how it goes. But at the same time, though, because of how you raise
There you go.
that fuck up might not be as bad as the one who wasn't disciplined.
Yeah.
Now you look at the
true.
kids today
That's
that are
me.
not disciplined and they feel like they can go out here, they can say what they want to say, they can do what they want to do, and without no repercussions as to what they do about it,
Mm-hmm.
because their parents is not allowed to discipline their kids. So when their kids is out here in public acting a complete damn fool, and and you hear people say, "Oh, it's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault why their kids acting like that." I'm like, no, it's for y'all taking our ass whoopings out of the house. It's the reason why the kids is out here acting a complete fool. Kids is getting ass whooping still. It I I feel like this generation that's now 18, 19, 20 years old would be totally different right now.
Yep.
Granted, I have a 20, soon to be 21-year-old by this summer, but I mean, he's pretty decent. I mean, but then again, he kind of knew the rules of the road, and he knows that, if you don't listen to his parents, then yeah, then you can deal with grandma, grandpa. Being grandpa's in the military, he don't want to deal with grandpa.
I mean, true, but then it all depends on what that kid was exposed to, also.
That's
So,
true.
like, like when you a kid in the inner city and there's no discipline at home,
Yeah.
how do you expect for that kid to? How do you think that kid is going to act as an adult? Because when they could grow up and become an adult, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I don't have to listen to you, or I don't have to follow this law, or I don't have to do this, or I can go out here and do this, this, and that because." When I was at home, got to do what I want to do. So when they go into adult life, they're like, oh, I can do what I want to do, and that's like end up in just damn jail.
Yeah.
Right.
In
And
the words of Mabel,
a lot of times it's okay for them to kill a kid, but when we discipline them, we're the bad parent.
mm-hmm.
We're the bad parent. So they get to sit back and watch TV and see some parents that discipline kids get locked up or fined or whatever have you. So you're not doing nothing but hyping them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And
it is what it is.
so speaking of horrible kids, so in Macon, Georgia, on February 2nd, 2018, Latoya Watkins picked up her son, Kayvon Watkins, 16, from school. It was obvious that he was in a negative mood. At home, he hopped onto the video game. Onto his video game. I should slow down to distract his mind. But the connection was so slow due to other people in the household using it as well. Kevin lived with his mother, 13-year-old sibling, and his 20-year-old sister, Alexis Watkins. Out of frustration, Kevin secretly changed the family's Wi-Fi password so the connection would improve. His mother noticed the change and unplugged the router, which caused Kayvon to go storm her room as if he was going to hit her. An intense argument was sparked. Kayvon's behavior was getting aggressive, so Alexis attempted to be her mother's aid. Alexis and Kayvon had trouble getting along on a daily basis. Latoya said that they always fought like typical brother and sister fighting. However, this time it was different. Latoya placed a 911 call in the midst of the yelling, saying that her 16-year-old son and 20-year-old daughter were tangled on the floor. Where am I at? She said she could not break them up. Just 3 minutes later, Latoya's 13-year-old made a secret 911 call in another area of the house. They told why did I say they? It should have been she told the 911 dispatch that their brother. Why? Who wrote this? Well, it's basically their brother tried to hit their mother, and now had his sister in a tight headlock on the floor. When the operator asked if Kayvon was on medication, the 13-year-old answered with no, he just crazy. Around 10 minutes later, a police officer finally arrived on the scene. Kayvon was still he was still squeezing on his sister's neck and holding her in a headlock as officers approached. He had not let go of his grip for a stunning 10 to 15 minutes. At this point, Alexis' body had gone limp minutes ago, but Kayvon was too blinded by rage to notice. The human brain can only tolerate 3 to 6 minutes without oxygen before permanent brain damage begins. After at least 10 minutes, where am I at? Oh, shit, I lost my place. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, here we go. After at least 10 minutes, a person is brain dead without oxygen. Alexis was rushed to the hospital and was pronounced dead. Her cause of death was asphyxiation. Is it asphyxiation? Well, I can pronounce this word.
I can't even say it.
What is it, Theta?
Asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I didn't realize, like I don't even know if I was pronouncing it right. I didn't realize he was choking her that hard. Latoya Walker said Kayvon cried and he as if he wait, what? Kayvon cried as he was served with a warrant for felony murder and informed his sister died. Kayvon's lawyer asked the judge for an acquittal of the charges and instead hand over a voluntary or involuntary manslaughter charge. This is no way I could justify wait, who wrote this out? A justifiable acquit for him as having done nothing wrong. Okay, yeah, somebody's grammar was off. The judge said during her decisions, I don't see this as an accident. He was sentenced to life in prison for felony murder. I never intended to kill her at all, he said through tears. She thought, oh wait, she taught me mostly everything I know. That was a lot.
Yeah.
So he took his anger out on his sister.
And now he's in jail for the rest of his life because of Wi-Fi. Argument over Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So just because it was trying to get his way wound up get him in jail. Pretty much.
Another reason why kids need an ass whooping. That's why I wanted to talk about that.
That's sad. That's really sad.
And I bet old man Theater agrees with me.
Man, I snap kids' fucking neck. I'd rather for my kids to fuck with me than to fuck with their mom.
But on top of that, though, dude, you're literally spending the rest of your life in jail because you murdered your sister over Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So something so small and intricate, like my kid would just, I mean, granted, he's played, those, what do you call, like first person or third person games or something like that are called.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and I'm not gonna say the names, but I mean, we don't want to get in trouble for it, but and he turned out decently, but on the same note, he could have went sideways, but he knew when the internet was a little slow that he's like, whatever. He would find something else to play, I mean, sometimes it happens. Or he would just literally hop offline and just play it without being online.
You gotta think about like this. They got kids out here that kill parents over $5 or $6.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't just the Wi-Fi situation or whatever. How you just, I mean, sometimes these kids could be crying out for help, and we may not know it.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, sometimes they could be crying out for help, and you trying to get them help, and society won't help you.
That is true in some cases. It's actually been a few cases where a mom was trying to get her son or the child help or whatever, and society and they took them to places, and most time moms don't have money to pay for the good hospitals for the kids, so it leads to other issues. Sometimes even they take their own lives because they can't deal with what's going on.
Right.
I mean,
and I feel like this out here is since they got the no hit kids thing going on. You can't touch it. As long as you don't leave webs and stuff on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say.
Yep.
But I done seen kids send their parents to jail just because they said this is what happened. No WAPs, no nothing. But I mean, some of the time, most of the time, it's society not willing to help you, and it's a lot to do too with sometimes color.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times too, when when us as being black people, we send our kids to seek help or something like that. Oh, well, I miss JoJo and I miss Jose. Maybe I just need to go back and get him after he done tore up your car or fucked you up or whatever. Oh, maybe that's my baby. Maybe I just need to go back and get him. Yeah, go back to get him so he can finish kicking your ass.
And these new parents are scared they hold their kids responsible for their actions. Like, oh, well, he didn't mean it, or he was just upset. Like, no, you need to hold your kid responsible for their actions. If you don't
Yeah,
teach them to learn how to be responsible for their actions now in life, what do you think is going to happen later in life as an adult?
that's
Well,
true.
that's why most parents, well, in our gen, and I could say in my age too, some of the time they spend too much time being friends with their kids. Me
Mm-hmm.
and my kids gonna be cool. Don't get me wrong, we're gonna be cool, but it's gonna be a certain level of coolness, and they know where the line is.
Hmm.
Right.
And my kids, if any of my kids was ever be on this podcast, they could pretty much count on their hands, on their one hand, how many times that, especially my girls. Now my son, I whooped his ass. I whooped his ass like a dude in the street once upon a time because he wanted to disrespect his mom and call her all kind of bitches and hoes and this and that. At first, I wasn't gonna get in between that because that was my baby, oh my
Some
baby,
damn
and you
stupid theaters.
know. That's the way she was. My oldest kid, my son, it was his stupid ass. That's how he was. I mean, I'm in the background. She calling me to come discipline him. I was like, no, let him finish whooping your ass or cussing you out. But that parent thing kicked in, and then my mom voice kicked in my head like, you need to handle that business. So I went over there and threw him across a couple of cars and on fun the like and waited for the cops to pull up and told him, give me a few more minutes, let me finish whooping his ass. I mean, this kid stands 6 foot 6'2".
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
jeez.
But yeah, I whooped that ass. But it just people I'm not gonna never gonna be that cool with my kids and them down. If they want to talk shit, they better talk it from a distance.
Hmm.
I'm not no kid beater or nothing like that, and my kids them can never say that they was brutally beaten by me. They may I can count on my hands how many times I probably like them. My kids mostly fear my voice,
All right.
but when you become friends with them and everything, and shit like that, yeah, they grow up to start treating you like, okay, you their friend. You their friend. I
Mm-hmm.
don't ever
They
want my kids to
they can
think that.
talk to you like don't like how parents should say it back in that. Don't talk to me like I'm one of your little friends. That's how
Right.
they kids be talking to them, like they
Yeah.
like you one of their little friends.
Yeah. I ain't got time with that. I ain't never really, or I can't say a party with my kids and my man had a drink here and there, a shot or something, but I don't get down with that really hanging around my kids and them and like a bar or a outside party besides us meeting as a family or something like that because no, I don't get down like that.
I think the first time I went to a bar where me and my mom was in the same bar, I was probably about 24, 25 years old. And that's probably about the only time me and her have ever been in a bar together. And I
Wow.
think it was like an after party for, or like some type of family get together or something like that. And we just all ended up at the bar. And I think that's
Right.
about the only time I've ever been in the same bar as my mom.
Wow. Jeez. Holy crap! Really?
Dead serious. Like I've never
Wow.
I'm not I'm like because when I'm out with my friends and stuff, I'm totally different. I'm like, you don't want your parents around for that? Like, no. And I don't, and that's why I'm so happy. Like, it's such a large age gap in between me and my mom. So it's like it's 33, 32 or 33 years in between me and my mom.
You don't have. You know what? I'm gonna get her bed out because you didn't even have to put her out like that. You didn't even have to go there.
No, cause like no, cause
I, I'm
cause
just
what I'm
I'm just
saying, no, cause what I'm saying is like some of these people so like I'm 30 now, but they mama be 45, but they be in the same club together. And like in there twerking and shaking
Whoa.
their ass and or doing all this other kind of stuff with their mom. I'm like,
Well,
no,
you know
no,
that's mother daughter thing though. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean,
no.
I don't
That
know if
ain't
I'm
even
going to take
cool.
my daughter to a club.
That ain't even
no,
cool.
no. I wouldn't. No, a mom should never be out with her daughter and her daughter's friends with a group of 20 or 30-year olds. Like she's a part of that group. No, the mom needs to go take her mom need to go with her own friends to their own club or wherever it is and go have a good time. You don't need to be out there with your daughter. Like, no, that's just messy. No. That's gross. No.
That's not right. Not right
So
at all.
speaking of mental health, since Old Man
Yes.
Theater brought up people having mental health crisis, Trevor Noah made a good point about Kanye West,
Okay.
and they were saying like, men when they get divorced from their wives, or just people in general when they get divorced from their wife or husband or whatever, they will make threats like, "Oh, I will kill you," and da da da, and all this kind of stuff, or this and that happened, and because they're like,
Only way
"Oh,
that only way that shit really happens at times, unless you got something really going on in your head. I hate to cut you off, but
no," that's how I was going to that point.
I ain't the type that's like that. It's as long as you don't fuck with me, you going about your business, and I go about mine. We
Yeah.
could be cool. I mean, yeah, I'd have been love over in love over heels before to where it drove me freaking nuts. That was back in my younger days. But as I done got older, I done learned to believe, not to believe, didn't learn as far as relationships and stuff like that go. At times, just this is time to, as Kenny, what's his name? Kenny Rogers said, time to fold them, time to
Yep.
walk away, and time to
Mm-hmm.
run.
Mm-hmm.
Some shit is just not worth it anymore. I mean, if you keep on recycling the same shit over and over again, and there's no change, you
Recycling.
need to pack it up and say fuck it. You know what's the sense of we making each other miserable?
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. Yeah.
Because so Trevor Noah was saying that he grew up in an abusive household, and he said one day he got a call from his dad saying that their dad shot their mom in the head, I believe, or
Oh,
the
jeez.
dad shot the
What?
mom,
Oh.
and he was like, because our father, like he was abusive, but he didn't show like signs like he had like a really bad mental health illness.
Yeah.
So when he would make these kind of threats, they didn't take it serious. But then like Kanye, he said in Kanye West case, Kanye West, we know that you have had mental health issues, or how you needed help with mental health issues and all these different kind of things. And there was like, with him having a mental health issue and the threats that he been making, how come these threats has not been taken serious? And it was like Kim Kardashian, everybody can say like, yeah, she laid on her back. She's not really with reality. She's only, she likes all the attention and the fame and publicity and everything that's going on with this whole Kanye West thing, is what they will say about her. But at the end of the day, Kim Kardashian, like he said, is like one of the most powerful people, one of the richest people in this country. And yet, stop it. And yet, this woman got to deal with constantly being harassed, and can't do nothing about it, because there's like, oh, well, Kim Kardashian, she's fighting for innocent black people to get out of jail. She was like, well, do I send Kanye West to jail? Well, how would the public perception be of me if I have Kanye West sent to jail for constantly harassing me? Just like, when he did put out a music video of the guy that she's dating currently right now, Pete Davidson. I believe he getting his head cut off or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just expressing art. This is art." If this was any normal person showing these type of signs, they would have been locked up in a mental health facility already.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, at what point does this woman, what does she has to do to escape this man? Like, he's constantly calling, he's constantly texting, he's showing up at places that he was not invited to, he's constantly sending gifts. And at first, he's like, Trevor Noah said, at first it was cute when he was trying to do the things to try, oh, I'm a winner back type thing, but now it's like he just went pure crazy at this point. And it's like, at what point is Kim Kardashian going to be safe for Kanye, and when is somebody going to step in and be like, okay, you know what, we really need to put him in a mental health facility, put him on a lockdown, and really do an evaluation on him.
Yeah. That's probably what needs to happen. Seriously.
Because he's already been banned from the Grammys, so he like, it's stuff like Billboard won't even recognize this album that he put out. They won't even recognize it. So at this point, they're just like, Kanye West is getting canceled. And is at one point somebody really step in and be like, okay, we need to take charge of this situation and get this under control?
I think pretty much. I mean, you're kind of saying it. We're right on the money. Is that I think what's going to happen is that society is they're gonna do like what's going on overseas. They're gonna literally like cut Kanye West off. So let's cut him off completely. Just to, it's kind of like you just take the trash out. You just take it up, crumple up, and throw it away and take it out. I think that's what's going to happen to him if he doesn't change his attitude and just what's going on. I mean, I think he's in for some trouble.
Right, and
Hands down.
it's just a like you hate to say it because like you try to root for people, you try to root for people and stuff, and it's like he
Yeah.
try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but he has
Yeah.
he has proven people wrong at every chance, at every turn. Like he need to be somewhere with a padded wall seeking help.
I mean, if that's what's got to happen for him, then that's what's got to happen. I
You
mean,
know what? But you asked the question on when, when. Whenever the people that he's threatening get up off they stop sitting on their fucking hands and file charges. Go down there to the DA's office or whatever they gotta do.
yeah.
Or
Mhm.
feel like they threatened. I mean,
But the thing is, he's publicly doing it though.
yeah, but people like me or you him publicly doing it, people like me or you can't just run over. You guys need to do something with him because he's threatening the Kardashian. He's doing this. He's threatening the guy that she's dating. He threatened what is it, DL
Oh
Hughley?
yeah, D.L. Hughley, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of his buddies. I read today. Funny that y'all on this. I read today that one of his buddies jumped on there and told waiting on a response from Hughley, uh, telling him that you need to apologize to Crazo. Like he threatening them or something. You need to apologize.
But to be honest, the way how D.L. Hughley is coming off is like I look at it as from a person that's looking from the outside and looking in at what Kanye West doing. D.L. Hughley's response was what a typical, I hate to say it on podcast, what a typical nigga would say. That's basically what it is. When you looking at it from the outside, that's typically if we as a group of us was standing around having a conversation about Kanye West and like at least a group of 5 or 6 of us, what D.L. Hughley said is what will come up in that conversation. So
Freedom of speech.
yeah, and that's it. Like you say, yeah, it's freedom of speech, but and it's crazy because it's like say like if we were to go on Facebook or make videos, you know, threatening somebody's life, even if that person we're threatening didn't press charges or whatever, go to say, hey, I want to press charges. The police is still knocking at your door doing an investigation because now you're on the watch list, and then you're going to keep being watched making these threats until it's going to get to a point where, okay, you know what, we got to step in.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, like I said, and for Kanye West to have such a huge following, and it's different. So it's a difference between, even though like me and you or a normal person, a few thousand, like you might have 1,000 Facebook friends. So your 1,000 Facebook friends is seeing, you making these threats locally to somebody, and our police department will still pick up on it. We're just like if a kid say, hey, I'm gonna shoot up my school tomorrow. The kids don't do that. Just make an example. I'm gonna shoot up my school tomorrow. They put it on Facebook. That school is gonna be shut down the next day.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So you can. So if a normal person can go online and make them kind of threats, and still somehow have the police knocking at their door and they sitting and they're being arrested, the same thing should happen for Kanye West.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think
And the difference is with Kanye West, instead of 1,000 people seeing it, you have billions of people seeing this.
Yeah.
There's billions of people seeing this, and yet not one law enforcement team or departments decided, yeah, we need to step in and do some type of something.
assessment.
Yeah,
assessment or find out what's going on or something like that. Yeah, yep. There's nobody like saying, "Hey, we got to do this." There's nobody stepping up and be like, "Hey, we need to check this out" or whatever.
exactly. Um, so to switch gears just a tad bit, a little.
Lita.
Wait before you do that. Wait
Huh?
before you do that. I got one more thing to say on that aspect.
Okay, go ahead.
You got to look at it like this, and maybe I'm saying this the wrong way, maybe I'm not. But being realistic about it, it's a black thing. It's a
Yeah.
black thing. It's nothing to do. I mean, I don't care how rich Kim Kardashian is, and I'm gonna say this: the N word. Well, I'm not gonna say it totally out, but she considered an N. And the dude that she messing with now, technically, you might as well be the same thing because you messing with an N.
Mm-hmm.
And um 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 however you say his name, I can't never
Pete
pronounce dude's name.
Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
No, Keon,
Kanye.
yeah, Kanye. I can never get the dude's name right, but it's a black thing. That's what's going on. Up until somebody kill each other, and this happens every day. Rappers killing each other over power. Well, not power, over yeah, some you might as well say it's kind of like power or whatever have you. Trying to be the king of this, king of that, or whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
Prime example, that dog killing, they started to bring other people out the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
Big,
Mm.
big time. It's really starting to stink now. But it's all about, man, waiting till something happened, then that gives the police force and attorneys and everybody else something to investigate, a job to do.
Right.
Right now, it's kind of cool, kind of collecting. Not saying that they may be, for all we know, they may be kind of still keeping an eye on him too. We don't
That's
know
true.
this.
True. That's true.
No.
So we just have to sit back. We can assume all we want to, but who knows? I mean, shit, they could be watching us every move.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this far as them, and I heard another person talk about it, them kicking them off the Grammys or whatever have you. I feel like this is the guy that he's talked about on there. Felt like that. I mean, that shouldn't have been up to the Grammy for him to be kicked off the Grammys or whatever have you. Okay, if he would have came there and got the acting kind of funny, he's still a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
He would, I mean, that could make some people tune out.
I think the reason why they kicked him out the Grammys and didn't want him to be at the Grammys is because they didn't want to give him a live, what should I say, a hot mic on live TV.
That's true.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that.
Because, like you said, they didn't know what was gonna come out of his mouth. They're just like the few years ago when Taylor Swift won Video of the Year. He walked up on stage, interrupted Taylor Swift, and said, "No disrespect, but Beyonce had the hottest video of the year, blah 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 blah," and walked off the stage. So like it was like they didn't want to have that one. Or he goes on a whole Kanye West. I mean, he goes on a whole Kim Kardashian rant on live TV during the Grammys.
That's still freedom of speech.
It's still freedom of speech, but at the same time, like, hey, we can't have you doing this on our show because now you're gonna mess it up for the rest of us.
No.
Now, a lot of times that boosts the show. Well, drama boosts the shows. Don't tell me no.
It will, but at the same time, it will make a drastic change in the show
Mm-hmm.
to how it is now. So the way to keep the show the way how it is now, the freedom they have to run the show how they do now, it's best to keep him off the show while he's going through whatever he's going through right now. Because he might go there and do a rant about Kim Kardashian talking about blood and murder, and next thing you know, the FCC might be like, "Hey, you know what? You guys are not allowed to televise the Grammys no more."
Hey, no, you know what? The reason why I said that, because if he gets to the point where they feel like he's finna get ready to do something stupid,
they could.
Yeah, that's true.
He just had to. I mean, because whatever he's feeling or want to say, whether he said at the Grammys or on Instagram, Facebook, Eula, hula hoo, or whatever, he's gonna say it, and it's still gonna get out to the same many people before
It
they take it off.
it is, but they looking at it like not on our platform though. That's how they looking at it, like not on our platform. And on top of that, with him not being able to get nominated for any Grammys, and they don't want him to basically perform there, so there's really no reason for him to be there if you're not even nominated for a Grammy. So why are you here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of, 'cause I believe the Grammys are taking place in LA. And LA is now the city is the first is which I say LA is the only US city to have gas over $6 a gallon right now.
Wow, really?
As of today, Los Angeles has hit $6.27 for a gallon of gas.
Wow.
Gas is still too damn high. Now, I watched this video on TikTok and it was like it made me rethink about the whole, complaining about gas being very high and all this kind of stuff. And the reason why, he was like, a person who depends on insulin, that tube of insulin that they need to depend on is $100,000 for that insulin. So can you imagine having to pay $100,000 out of pocket for something that you need? Or he was saying it was $50,000 for like some type of chemo, some type of pill or something like it was. He was telling like different breakdowns of prices of different medications that people need in their everyday life. And he was like, so for people to complain about the price of gas and these people who depend on these medication that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, we shouldn't be complaining about the price of gas.
Wow.
And it really made me rethink, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be complaining.
That's
And you
crazy.
should.
You
I
said,
mean, we're human. We're human. We're gonna complain anyway. Whether it's too high or too low, we're gonna complain regardless. It's always gonna be something.
true.
So at this point, we can complain about gas because, well, I put it like this: those people that's going through chemo and all this other stuff, there's some of the stuff that insurance is not backing them on or whatever have you. We, we might as well be dead. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, our life, when you talk about medication and stuff like that, and going through different stuff and trying to get better, your life really ain't worth shit.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being straight up with you. It's a price tag on every damn thing.
Yes, it is, and it's only Americans who has these price tags, because like,
Yeah,
and because a lot of our other countries, we are. I think America is the only country that's not a third world country that doesn't have universal health care.
That's correct.
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's an American issue. Um. So, Old Man Theater, you got any life lessons out there for the people today?
Yes. Stay single, stay black, stay white, be cool, and don't be no damn fool for nobody.
I was going to ask you about that. You were going to say stay black and be like, well, what about me? Like, what happened to me, buddy? Like, don't forget about me, homie.
I didn't, Crystal. You see, I'm just saying.
I was like, what happened to me? Like, I thought he was going there. He did. He didn't. He did not. So don't worry.
Smart about all decisions that you make in life because you could make a decision that could fuck you up forever. You could make a decision that could fuck you up for a little bit, and then you have to try to bounce back off of it. But just think about things
Yeah.
before
Be a
you.
human. Yeah, but just be a smart human being. Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
look at what's best.
sometimes you can be sold a dream, and then when you finally wake up, it's really a dream. It's a nightmare.
All right.
So just be careful about the decisions that you make in life because decisions can make you like, how you say, Kanye?
Yeah.
Kanye West.
I'm just saying.
He'd be like Mr. West. Just call Mr. West, okay? Dude West or whatever you want to call him. I don't know.
Lord.
Some guy named West.
Either way, decisions can fuck you up like that if you let it. So
There you go.
careful on the decisions that you make in life and go from there.
There you go.
All right.
And
Crystal, you got any final thoughts for the people?
You know what? I mean, we all have our goods and bads in life, and you know what, good, better, otherwise. But watch what you're doing. Don't. I mean, it's always great to follow your dreams, but make sure your dreams don't land you up in prison or put you in any kind of illegal situations. Make sure you know what you're doing. Pay attention. I mean, there's people out there. We all are gonna have our differences. I mean, we have crossing roads with some people too, myself, but in life, it's good, better, otherwise. It doesn't mean it's who you are. As long as you try to be whole about yourself and try to be a good person, you know what? Regardlessly, you don't have to drive a brand new car to keep up with your neighbors next door, okay? Or whatever else. If you can only afford a vehicle from whatever that era is, that's okay. You know what? The smart part about it is maybe you're just trying to save up money, to take care of yourself. And if you have a family, depending if you're a single parent or what it is. But, there's some parents out there that are struggling too, But,
right.
but no, I wish everyone the best, and you have a great day or evening wherever you are.
and happy Easter.
Oh, Lord. So my final thought is when your supervisor piss you off, go home and you plan your revenge and you drink to that.
Oh, my gosh.
Make sure you drink to that a few times and then you plot your revenge and then you get there the next morning and you tell your supervisor to go to hell. That's my final thoughts for you.
Or spray water on their dirty jeans.
I'm done with you.
I'm just
Before we go, make sure y'all head over to Still Hungry Grills. That's on Still Hungry Grills on all their social media accounts. Make sure y'all go check out Still Hungry Grills. Make sure that y'all what else is there? Make sure y'all go check out Jason Pitts, who was on Jason Pitts, who's on the last episode of the podcast. Make sure you go check out his Indigo account where they're trying to get some funding done there. Make sure you go check out Justin's who was on a podcast a few weeks ago. Make sure you go check out his Kickstarter. I believe you still have some time for the Kickstarter end. I believe it ends April 2nd. So make sure y'all head over to his Kickstarter and support his comic Tales of Shock and Terror. Deals. As usual, we got them deals. Head over to habits365.com and use code Anthony4 to receive 20% off your purchase. And if y'all want to help with donations to find Old Man Theta a home, please just hit if you're watching the video, it might be in the video version too, but I know the audio version is a link that says support the podcast. Any money y'all donate will help go towards finding Old Man Theta a senior citizen home.
Yeah, or either donate to these damn Christmas lights that somewhat probably ain't down yet, but I can still get you a deal on them and a bottle of wine. That'll give you an extra tip.
We trying to get rid of my wine.
Please donate to the podcast.
Lord have mercy. What else?
So I can get a home, but I'm going to lights for free.
Reppsports. Reppsports.com. Use code Martel1 to receive 10% off your purchase. And head over to Bearskn.com and use code AnthonyB to receive 5% off your purchases. Yeah, 5% off. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Generation X proudly present. Oh wait, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I was thinking about wrestling. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Same Cast, Different Day Podcast with me, Martin Rowland, Crystal B, and Old Man Thea, the Theo B.
Sorry for being late.
This is the #1 podcast in Wisconsin for Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Zs. And y'all have a good one, and we will see you all on Tuesday.
Don't forget to donate now. You hear?
I'm done.